Hello and welcome to the Poets Lounge. I am your hostess, Paulette Henson, and I am super excited to invite you all tonight to here's some great poetry. I'm really excited to have my special co-host joining me tonight,
Mhm.
and that's poetess Tina. Tina, welcome. Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year to all of our listeners. And I'm just excited to kick off this new year. How about you?
Most definitely. I'm just so excited to be here and see you. It feels like it's been forever.
It has. I feel like it has too, and so much has been going on. I know that everyone has had, like a maybe a crazy year, or just wish that you could have changed some things or whatever. But you know what? It's a brand new year. We get a whole new
Yes.
chance to start all over, or reinvent something, work some things out. And so I just want to encourage you all to stick with it, because it's right in that moment when you think that everything is going to end or it's not going well. That's when you're getting blessed and you're going to see that progress. And so, with that, I am going to turn it over to Miss Tina and let her bless you with a poem. And let me see if I can make this, let's
Amen.
see, the layout. And okay, Tina, let's see if I can put you on now. Because I'm actually doing this
Okay.
from my phone. All right, we'll do it like that. All right, Tina, go for it.
Okay. So this poem is called I Miss New York. I miss the city of bright lights. The isolation out here is brutal. I felt to give up the fight. I love to run, party, and have some fun. Step outside my door, hear the music pumping, smell the amazing smells. Where I'm at now, this isolation feels like hell. I miss
Mm,
the energy and the vibe. You can't even exist in VA if you don't have a ride. So sick of the loneliness. No friends, no relationship with my child. So much phoniness. No history, but yet you're living in my city. I almost don't feel human anymore. I'm a get up and go kind of girl. Here locked down on a prison stint. It's just like the toil of paying rent. Not how I imagined it would be. Had a man, a narcissist, and I couldn't see. He was a living freaking nightmare, and he lived as if he didn't have an effing care.
mm, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That was
Yeah.
cool. What, tell me about that.
So, I moved to Virginia because I really was burnt out in New York. I lived there my whole life and I wanted to write books. And I had like a vision in my head. And when I
Mm-hmm.
got here, it was like I met someone and he completely sidetracked me. So instead of working on writing my books, I just was basically catering to him. And what
Oh.
happened was it was just so crazy because I was planning to get my license and do this and this. And he convinced me not to, that he would drive me everywhere. And it was just like everything got, actually, it was like everything went backwards instead of forward.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's like just being out here, still not being able to drive. The isolation it's intense.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
um, yeah, I really don't get to really go anywhere because I don't have a car. It's not
Oh,
like New York. You can step outside and walk to the train or walk to the bus. It's not like that
right.
here. You have to drive everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go back to New York, but I do miss it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
that's
I hear
basically
you.
the gist of it. Yeah, when you go
Wow.
somewhere, you have this high expectation, and then you don't meet what your expectations, then it kind of just the whole scene just changes.
Yeah. No, I completely understand. I completely understand that. And I understand that whole isolation because, isolation is something that can really, put you like in a depressed mood because it hinders you
Yes.
from being able to do things and get out. And so
It's true.
it's really about finding that balance, where
Yeah.
if you can connect with some friends, for an event or something like that, so you can get a ride somewhere. Um, I saw a post too that was talking about, um, there's certain like transportation type jobs that you can get, like transportation, medical equipment, and they give you a car. And so
Oh
you
wow.
just, when you're working, you drive and you transport, medical whatever. And like I don't know if it's specimens or whatever, something like that, but they give you the vehicle to do that. So
Oh wow.
yeah, that's interesting. So as you were saying all of that, I was thinking of some words, and I just want to express, because we're in a new year and it's a new beginning. And so I'm going to call this imagine. Okay, so imagine that it is the first day of the year. Imagine that everything that you dreamed of is coming to pass. Imagine that all of your relationships, your past relationships, all of those people turn themselves around in a positive way and either apologize to you or just reconciled whatever that thing is. Imagine that everyone is not um, not suffering. Imagine that the world is happy. Imagine that the world is more loving. What kind of
Yeah.
world would that be if we imagined that all of these things that are going on instantly stopped? And how would that make us all feel if our imagination was actually real? And so imagine that your children and your grandchildren are thriving, and imagine that everything that you want from this life has taken flight, and you're actually seeing things come to pass. Imagine, imagine,
Imagine.
imagine that all of these things that I've said are true. Imagine.
Wow.
Thank
That
you.
was beautiful. I almost started crying.
Oh, well,
Imagine.
because we have to see it. We have to
We
see
have
it in
to
our
do it.
mind in order to make it come true. It's like we have to see it and we have to put forth an effort to say, okay, I'm going to make this thing happen. I'm going to do
Right.
what it takes. At least I'm going to take a step in that direction, and then watch God, just uh produce and send
Yes.
people to you. And so I
Yeah.
just want people to be encouraged, for the new year, because with all the everything that's happening, people can feel really down and
Yeah.
defeated. And really, that's a lie. That's just a temporary moment that will
Right.
pass. But if we imagine that all of this is not happening and we are thriving in our world and doing what we're supposed to do, then that will fuel that motivation, to get us on that track to do that thing.
That's true.
Hmm.
I absolutely believe that. I've actually
Yes.
started meditating again and affirming to make those things become reality.
Yes, yes. I hear you. I hear you. Wow. Okay. Well, that's great. So, I want to turn it back over to you and give us another poem, please.
Sure. Okay. This one's a little deep.
All
So
right.
it's called Little Girl Starving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still that little girl starving for my mommy's love. I was raised in hate and never had a chance to be great. Harming me, mommy was the norm in our home. So I searched for outside vices, all kind of wicked devices. Drugs and sex used to entice me, tantalizing sin-filled days. I'd find a way. Even though it hurt me and stripped my innocence, I was so misguided I just reoffense. All I wanted was a hug, just some love, a smile maybe. Can you just say I love you, baby? No, you can't. So I'll just get drunk until I pass out. That was my daily routine. But God kept my organs clean. My sins stunk, laid out drunk, but God still saved my soul. That's why I love him so. So, mommy, you can hate me, but God loves me, and he even died for me.
Wow, that was beautiful. Amazing. Wow.
Thanks.
So
That
tell
was
tell
hard to
me,
write.
yeah.
That was hard to
Yeah,
write,
I'm
yeah.
I'm sure it was because that's deep. That is very
Yeah,
deep. A mother's love is so powerful.
it
And
is.
unfortunately there's so many situations that try to jeopardize that, and it's unexplainable,
Yes.
because who's explaining it to the kids? And it's like, they're watching us 24/7, and a lot of times they don't understand, you know.
Mm.
Uh,
They
so
don't
I
understand.
right, go
It could
ahead.
be anything. It could be like mental illness. It could be anything. A kid
Yeah.
doesn't understand why the parent doesn't care for them or why they're abusing them. They don't understand that,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately, most people don't get help. And so therefore they either become an addict in the street or they're sleeping
Mm-hmm.
around to fill that void.
To fill that
It's
void.
just,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Because
Wow.
it's like when you don't get your mother's love, you got to get that love from somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
It's
And
not
that
always
happens that happens across the board with men and women, and in
yeah,
some cases it happens, it's like a lifetime. Some people go their whole life living like that.
your
And
whole
and
life.
but yeah, but don't you think that you have to recognize your problem first? You got to admit that you need something that you're not getting.
Right, right.
And I think that is the pillar that a lot of people don't want to, especially I think men, they don't want to admit that they're having mental crisis over something, from their parents or something like that, because they're men and they are taught to not have those kinds of feelings, and not express when they're hurting, and that's awful too, because all that anger and trapped up,
Yes.
energy, it's not good for anybody. It's not good for them. It's not good for the people that are around them or anybody, because it's like contagious. And so that's really a good poem to, because it opens the door for this kind of conversation. Like I said, people don't just come out and say, how is your mental capability right now? How are you dealing with your mental stress? Nobody says that.
No,
you
never.
know and then if somebody did, would you be offended if they said something like, do I look like I'm having mental issues? But so it's like, how do we get past that wall and, like, hey, let's talk about this. Let's talk about how we can help each other, because we're all having some kind of mental something at some point. It may
Yes.
not be 24/7, but it could be something as little as you being in the store and somebody looks at you a certain way and makes you feel a certain
Mhm.
way, and it triggers
Yes.
something else, and then you don't even know why you're feeling like this. You don't know this person, but it
Right.
triggers something. And so
That-
I think that if we talk about it more, it becomes more easy for others to express themselves, and we can better understand, like you said. uh you could be having a bad day or something, or you could be thinking about something in your past, and then all of a sudden a similar situation will pop up, but your mind takes you back to that moment, that past moment, and now you're reacting in that way to this thing, and it's totally different. And I'm saying that because that's where a lot of the confusion comes in, with relationships, with arguments and all that, because you don't know where someone's head is at. And I'm not
That's
laughing like that. I'm laughing because it's a mystery, you
mm-hmm.
know. And then, things are said, and they could be hurtful or what have you. And it's like, well, why would you say that? That just really tore me down right now. But you don't know
Right.
what brought that on. They could be having some kind of argument in their mind with something
Mm-hmm.
of somebody from their past. I mean, that stuff is real. And
It is.
like I said, I think it's great that you wrote that poem, because it opens the door for conversation about it. And
Yes.
it makes it like okay to kind of tread water, and have a discussion, like, get this thing
Exactly.
out of you. So
Yes.
that was awesome. Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're
So
welcome. That's
because,
why I love.
huh? Go
No, I
ahead.
was gonna just say that's why I love poetry, because it allows me to open this doorway, and because once I do read it, people do just tell me everything they've been through with their parents, and it's healing for them, and it's healing for me too.
Yeah, it's healing for all of us, because, I'm just going to say this is that, number one, everybody, we all love our parents. And as children, they're our heroes. It's like that, they're
Yes.
it. And as we get older, um things kind of change, because we're adults now and we're parents now. And then it
Right.
kind of makes you reflect back, like, well, dang, I wouldn't do that to my kid, or I would not
Right.
do this to my kid. And so then we kind of like start going back, like blaming them for stuff that we
Right.
wouldn't do. And so I try to look at it like, they raised us in a different world, a different time. The rules were different, everything was different. But I think that it made us good people. This world
Mm-hmm.
today is like, it's crazy. It's off the chain.
It
Everything
is.
is what do you say? Everything is information is there. People, you can find out anything. You can
Paulette. Oh no. Paulette got thrown out, so we're gonna give her a few minutes. I'm sure she'll be back. So I hope that you guys are all enjoying the show. I love poetry. It's my passion. Um, yeah, poetry is just everything to me. It's given me a voice that I never had before. And that's the best part of it is when you have a voice, you know, especially when you never had one your whole life. So I'm just ever so grateful until Paulette comes on. This is my book, Scars from an Addict. It is on Amazon. You can Google it, Tina L. Jackson. And it's also told through poetry as well. I'll read a poem from my book. This one's called Unfulfilled. When you love someone, no one can ever replace them. You'll search the universe only to find an empty hole in your heart and space for them. You will find someone but will hate her because she's not me, baby. You'll mistreat her and wish to God I could be her. So you will never be fulfilled, always yearning, desire burning, wanting and longing, bursting at the seams, unfulfilled dreams. We're both wishing for just a touch one more time. We're both dying, but it will never be again. So we both live unfulfilled in love. And that poem is for my daughter's father because despite the fact that he had a drug addiction, the love that he showed me was so powerful. I had never experienced anything like that in my life. He gave his whole heart, you know. When he was doing good, it was just amazing. And I've never found anyone to give me love like that since. And when you can't be with that person because of whatever reason they have a problem, you live unfulfilled in love. You know, you love them, you will always love them, but you're unfulfilled because you cannot be with them. So there's just that longing, the desire, but you can't be with them. So, and that's pretty painful, but that's just how it is. So I hope you like that poem. It took me 15 years to write that book. And that's just the first of many that's coming because the abuse that I experienced, you can't, and this is for anyone that's experienced any kind of abuse, you can't just shove it under a rug and say, well, I went through that, it's over. No, you got to get help first. You got to get professional help. Then you have to take care of yourself. You have to eat right. You have to exercise. You have to surround yourself with good people so you can start to thrive because the abuse tore you down. It basically destroyed you. So you have to like rebuild yourself back up. And once you can do that, you can begin to thrive. I'm just suffering with COPD, y'all, but I'll be all right. So I hope Paulette's okay. I'm sure she'll be
I
back.
I am.
Yes. I read another poem from my book while you were gone.
Oh, good.
Yes, yes.